So hello everyone, I'm Loncho, doing another SGDQ 2022 submission, here to talk about probably the most sleeper category in all of Splatoon speedrunning, Squid Amiibo in Splat 1. Why is this category so amazing? It's mainly due to the Kraken special that you get across most of this category. There's some limited ink challenges as well, but the Kraken special is extremely fast, paints its own path, and makes a ton of different movement optimizations compared to what you can do in anything else, like any percent and all scrolls or whatever. Which is basically just makes it better NG+, if you ask me. So you wouldn't probably expect like this Amiibo category in the corner to really do a whole lot, but like it's one of the best categories in this whole series. It's crazy. It's so much fun. I don't have this record. This is my 32:43. The record is 32:37 by Sushi Squid. Sushi's put 10 times the effort compared to anyone else into this category and absolutely deserves this record, don't get me wrong. Maybe I'll try and get it at some point, but not right now. Anyway, you can see this Kraken movement just go right through flutters, like it's an invincibility special, basically. Then we're going to do Messiah skip here. Using one of these corners of the metal rim, we could use the Kraken speed to just jump all the way up there, super fast. Messiah skip is a very difficult trick in many categories, but not in Squid Amiibo. Because of the Kraken speed, you're making that trick like over half the time, for sure. And you can like retry very quickly too, just because you don't have to worry about enemy ink. So that's just what it is. So, in these Amiibo challenges, there's only a certain select amount of stages. There are 3 stages from each world, and then the boss stage. So it doesn't actually do every single stage in the game. But you might be wondering, why do we do this order that we do? Like, I started somewhere in World 3, and then we do 2 of the World 2 stages, then we go back to World 3? Like, where's World 1? When are we going to do that? You basically just want to do menuing that has you going from each stage to stage without having to like cross over and do multiple inputs to get to one. So this route that I'm gonna do actually ends in World 1, and you kind of just get the freedom to do whatever you want, routing wise. Now if YouTube would actually decide to work for me, it'd be pretty convenient, you know? But anyway, this is a limited ink stage, so we only have so much ink going throughout this stage. But the limited ink challenges are all like fairly generous, like you don't really have to worry all that much. And I'm sorry, I've done like 3 attempts trying to record this and YouTube keeps buffering, so 480p it is. Trolled. So you have level 5 right here, the sponge stage. Now in any percent in all scrolls, you'd have burst bombs here, but since we're doing limited ink, you only have a splat bomb as your one sub, as with everything is in Squid Amiibo. And you don't really want to throw that splat bomb much because it takes like 75% of your tank. So you only want to do it for the end zapfish because it's efficient. Multiple that way. Oh, nice water jug. And now level 4. This is another limited ink stage. This one's scary. You only actually 1 full ink tank to do this whole thing. And that section right there, usually at any percent in all scrolls, you throw a bomb to distract those twinkles. We don't have the ink to do that. So you just have to stand there and not die to those shots. Just a little bit RNG. Sometimes you'll die there, lose 10 seconds, whatever. You can also hop down and be safe about it, but if you're trying to go fast, you want to brave the fire. And then we get to the end here. Do some geyser jumps off these geysers by using the rising momentum. We can get to these end parts a lot faster and use our bombing to finish her off. And then we get into level 11. Wait, do we do 3 limited inks in a row? I know there's like 5. Yeah, we do 3 limited inks in a row. There's 5 total limited ink stages in Squid Amiibo, and the rest are Kraken. And we do like all the limited ink at the start. That's weird. I never even realized that. Probably because it's been a while since I actually ran this category, but... Level 11 is a visible ink stage with lots of pathing that you kind of just have to memorize to go optimally about. Now, I kind of did that movement wrong, so that Twinnicle got in my way. I actually had to take it out. You can actually skip killing the Twinnicle if you do some smart movement. But without Seekers here, this is a lot harder and slower. Because Seekers generally would give you like long paths for these straightaways, but you don't have them here. So you must be optimal with your hero shot. Hopping across these corners of the invisible path. Don't wake up the squeegees. They're very fast. So I'm pretty sure I play on the Japanese version for this. I haven't actually paid attention to the text. How did I not die there? Yeah, I'm playing on Japanese. Which means I'm playing on 1.0 with my version setups. So the squeegees are indeed fast. Japanese doesn't actually save time in this category. And in fact, if I ever actually did a marathon out of this, I probably should do it in English? No. The squeegees aren't like dangerous in this category. Really. It's slightly faster being on version 1.0 just because of loading in and out of this Amiibo part, but it's not like a big deal. Anyway, finally, more Kraken. Level 18. This World 4 thing that you just don't get to see in any percent. That's crazy. So the Kraken makes quick work of all of these long straightaways that you generally have to ink and use Seekers for. And it lets you make some like really absurd cycles here by jumping over to like this. You're like 2 spinning platform cycles faster than any percent or all scrolls. And you get this key at the end. The thing about the Kraken is that it doesn't really react to slopes, or just like jumping to sloped areas or something that's moving, it can oftentimes just lose its grip to it. So you have to be like careful sometimes with the Kraken. I know like the Kraken, invincibility special, you're kind of just going guns blazing into everything. You kind of have to be careful with it in this category. And then, okay. We had a Kraken fun for one stage. Now we're doing level 23. Another limited ink stage. This one's interesting because since we have 2 full tanks, we actually have enough to throw a bomb there to distract those sponges so we don't have to wait for them. Because waiting for them does lose a lot of time to jump and whatever. It's like 3 or 4 seconds. Music's too emotional, man. Anyway, Inkzuka. This doesn't actually use your ink tank. So you want to use as much of this Inkzuka as possible. And then get yourself a nice path at the end. So you don't have to do any extra shots. It's beautiful. Do this hop around right here. Without the Seeker, hitting that sponge earlier, it's honestly a lot safer, but it's just slower that way. Now, I'm waiting here to bait out those bombs from the bombers because I don't have burst bombs. Burst bombs would be very fast for these sponges, just because you'd be able to instantly make them be full size, right? Can't do that here. So you have to be way more cautious and a little slower pace on these limited ink sections. But that's okay. Then we do manip here to put these octolings in the right spot. And then we finish this all with the Inkzuka that we picked up earlier. And you can do a back boost with the Inkzuka into your own ink. Kind of fail it there, but not that bad. Then we go into level 24. This is a cycle-based stage, but since we have the Kraken, we're kind of breaking a lot of the normal cycles because the Kraken is very fast moving throughout all this. You could hop around that platform right there before it actually pushes you. These shielded enemies If you try to like jump into a shielded enemy, its hitbox will push you back really far. So you do actually need to be careful about that. It's pretty easy to die. I will not lie. And that bomber will also push you back. So kind of trying to clear out some of these enemies and take a nice safer path throughout this. Because we do have time on this cycle, I'm pretty sure. This might actually be normal any % cycle. Or we might be one ahead. I'm not sure. Because these main platforms at the end are the biggest roadblock because they take forever to move. So it could actually just be the normal any % cycle, but we just get more time at it. I think it is. Oh, maybe not. That platform's weird. I don't know. It's faster, okay. But that's your 24. Now we're going to be doing the rest of World 4 cleanup. Oh, we will be fairly soon. We'll be leaving Maw for after Octavio. Because we'll be doing the final boss Octavio actually kind of like in the middle. Because Octavio in this category, this is easily the hardest Octavio fight in this game. Just because of how you have to approach it. So you kind of want to get it done fast. So you can just reset more efficiently. But this is level 19. This is a cycle-based stage. And as you can see with a lot of my substrafe ledge snaps, which is the act of holding R to keep your speed and accelerate faster as you go over a ledge, then releasing it. As you can see, like I'm pulling out the sub-weapon, then I'm going back into the ink. That helps you build speed. But you're trying to make a cycle, which I fail, it looks like. It's a fail. I mean, that's not like the biggest deal. But it will lose me some time. You do really want to make that cycle. I think a cool thing about Squid Amiibo is that you play so much closer to your sum of best than other categories. Just because of how Kraken movement works, it's less RNG based than having to deal with the shot RNG that you will in other categories. It's more about cutting optimal lines, taking out enemies with extreme efficiency. This is level 20. Bluefin Depot. Got this rail here. If you get hit by a bomb or a shot as you're going up this rail, you'll just fall down, and it's very annoying. I'm pretty sure by all scrolls PB actually does that exact mistake I'm talking about, so we'll get to see that soon, huh? And then we're going to be doing level 25. Now, level 25 is still a bit of RNG when doing it with the Kraken, but you don't really have to worry about flutters too much because, you know, I can just go right through them. So, it's certainly different. And once again, I apologize for the 480p disgusting garbage you're looking at right now. Maybe if my internet cooperated. Anyway, there's keys in the corner here. The Kraken just goes so fast over enemy ink. Don't have to use like seeker strats or nothing. We're looking for the sniper here. The sniper has the key. And that sniper is in a very good spot. Oh my god. That's so nice. Thank you, sniper. Getting lucky in the speedrun? There's no way. And now we're going to be going into Octavio. So I mentioned earlier that Octavio in this category is like the hardest out of every category. Why is that? We don't have multiple sub-weapons. Therefore, we can't switch between them. Therefore, we cannot do the rapid fire glitch. So, if you want to actually get a fist skip. Well, you can't get a fist skip. You can get these things called cycle skips. It accomplishes the same effect, and it's done by delaying a fist to the ground long enough that Octavio is flashing green on his main, like, he's got like lights next to him on this machine here. When they're flashing green, he'll actually take more knockback because he's reset his animation. So if you can delay a fist to hit him once his animation has turned to green, then you can actually do increased knockback. And that's a cycle skip. And there are some absurdly difficult cycle skips you need to do in this category. I think I get all the main ones. I have to do a backup in phase 3, I'm pretty sure. But it only lasts me a couple seconds because I'm quite simply balling out. Yeah, but without the rapid fire glitch, it's a lot slower on these subwoofers. Smilers! Okay, phase 2. So this phase, we're basically going to have to hold a fist over our head, hit back this one as fast as we can, and we're going to try to delay this second one as hard as we can. And you can see the machine was just green for a sliver there, and that let us do much more knockback. It's actually even more knockback than you would get with a fist skip. Like a lot more. No, that's not true. It's just that you can't really do a fist skip there because of the whole gap. That's my bad. That's not right. But we have pushed back Octavio far enough with that cycle skip. Here's the subwoofer. You can stand on this killer whale for a while just because it takes forever to activate. Octavio's killer whales are pretty slow. So you can just stand there, hit back the subwoofer, then jump over, and only then will it activate. And there we go. This is another delay fist. By holding this fist above you for long enough. But I actually failed this. So that I like failed this. Octavio's supposed to be further back right now. I'm like confused. Like visible shock on my face. Not understanding how I just failed this. But am I Lantro? Or am I just some average Splatoon runner? Because what you gotta do here is own up to it, hit back this first fist, and hit the delay in a place you've never seen before. Get enough knockback. It works, and that backup only lost me 2 seconds. Which is just pure comedy. Pure comedy, how something like that can actually work. I've never had to do that knockback before, or that backup before, and I've never had to do it since. But it's funny it happened there, you know? It's like, yes, I made a mistake, but I could fix it. I could fix her. Everything will be just fine. And then phase 4, this is easily the hardest phase. So we're gonna have to do a delay fist here that takes use of this slope. We're trying to get it like lower on the slope and whatever. And this is extremely tight. This is like, if you miss this, it'll lose you about like 25 seconds. If you hit this, obviously fast. So you want to hit this fist without it actually hitting any of the barrier there. So this fist is as far up as possible. Then you want to like delay that super hard so it'll actually work. That like you could see the fist was like basically touching the ground. That's how far you have to delay that fist to actually get this knockback. It's brutal. But it works, you know? And since we hit an extra fist earlier on, we can let that fist hit the ground. You technically can only hit one fist at the start and work with this phase, but I've only ever hit it once. Theoretically, it'd be faster, but it has like no consistency whatsoever. And I got it once on a fluke, on accident. So I don't know. Then we do a normal fist here. This means Octavio is going to be closer to us, but you see this little slope right here. So that little slope actually gives us enough height that we can get close enough to this fist with the Kraken. And remember the Kraken one-shots things? Same thing applies for a fist. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use the Kraken to spin into this fist and perform a fist skip, which you usually have to do with RFGs. Beep beep over here. But that fist skip basically simplifies this entire phase because now you don't have to worry about like any knockback. Oh wow, my package I ordered from like 3 months ago is getting here today. How did it take this long? That's actually mental. Anyway. I thought I got scammed. Let me do another normal here. Do some nice knockback. Octavio's at the end. And we don't have an Izuka here, so we're just gonna have to shoot this subwoofer manually. And it gets pretty fast. You kind of want to back up for the last phase just because like it gets pretty quick. You got to like catch it because it can go 3 different directions. And I got a 630 Octavio IGT there. Back when I got this record, Octavio world record was a 628. Sushi's gotten it down to like a 623 now, I think, though. So if I come back to this category, I have a lot of Octavio work to do, let's just say. But that's fine. Next up is Octoma. You don't get to see this boss very often. It's got all these different teeth. You break open the teeth, make yourself a path. Throw a bomb into the mouth and then take out the tentacle. Simple. Do this 3 times. What's nice is that we get to skip cutscenes, so we don't really have to wait much. Make sure there's a nice clear path. Bomb. Shoot. Each phase, Octoma gets tougher and tougher teeth to break, but it's not really that big of a deal because he does wait a long time. And there's your fight. This is kind of like down point of the run, the donation point, if you will, just because like Octoma is very simple. Octowhirl here is basically an auto-scroller. So that's just so entertaining, dude. What's nice, though, is that we get to skip the cutscenes at least, so faster that way. Oh, what we can actually do there. So you partially hit the tentacle with shots, and since the Kraken does like a lot of damage with its contact spin, you can actually finish it off with the spin. I didn't do that in Ma, just because Ma is rapidly rising and falling in that animation, and it makes it really hard to actually spin consistently with the Kraken. But not here. Whirl is kind of just sitting in the same spot, so it's super easy to just boop him. And a nice one flat fight on the auto-scroller. You love to see it. Now this is my time save over my PB, basically, because I died here in my 3308. So you just gotta ball out, manifest, and inspire. But this stage, a lot of like very tricky movement with like moving platforms. And remember what I said earlier about slopes and moving platforms not really cooperating with how the Kraken works? That like is most deadly here. there's going to be a lot of moving platforms pushing you back, and you won't stick to walls if you're getting pushed back trying to jump to something else. So you have to be very careful. Like this slope, you'll like fall down before you actually connect to it, because slopes are very well programmed. But that's fine. Then this right here, it's like hard to connect with how the Kraken works. Wait for this platform to stop moving so much so I don't just slip down it. It's a pretty bad 13, but you know what? Time save. It's fine. Now we're going to be going into level 7. This level has a bunch of straightaways, and you can guess what the Kraken's good at. So this is just super fast movement. But not really a whole lot going on in 7, if I'll be honest. We're getting close to the end of the run now. We almost get to do the first world. It's crazy. Who would have guessed, dude? Doing World 1? No way. Now, if I actually do this for a marathon, I probably would do intended level order, just because, like, I can't reset, and that would make, you know, more sense. But when you're doing record attempts, it makes sense to do this. You do all the reset heavy stuff early. Just thinking about that now. It's like, that's kind of silly for a marathon setting, but whatever. It's just way cooler to do Octavio last. Good time on 7. Getting that green, minus 22 over there. I know it's a little hard to see, but minus 22. And then we have Octonuzzle. And we don't have RFG here, but we do have a bomb and normal shots, and that will just have to do. Just have to be, as always with Octonuzzle, you just have to be careful about the ink tank. Because it's very easy to just fail. Well, apparently Kirby got leaked. What? Nah, I should be focusing on this fight. This is phase 3. It has 4 of these different belly buttons that you just have to poke off. You throw a bomb, makes the tentacle a little larger, then you can hit up and do shots. Go and grab your Zapfish. I don't think that time was very good. No. I'll take a second to sub. And now we are doing the World 1. Crazy, I know, but starting out with Octostomp. This fight's fairly simple. The Kraken actually makes some quick work of it, because you can just do like a few shots and then spin into it to do the rest of the damage. So you're like counting out the amount of shots that you've actually done to this tentacle. And then phase 3. Oh, bit of a fail there. Gotta be careful with how those slopes work. Or panels, sorry. 41, yeah, I think record's like a 38. Ew. No wonder I don't have world record in this category. Alright. This is level 3. It's got a bunch of long straightaways. I was just thinking about how good this music was, God. It's got a bunch of these straightaways. The Kraken basically covers any need that you would have for Seekers here, and does it better. Stay out of the way of this moving platform, essentially. Dodge the enemies, if possible. It's generally faster, yeah, to just go around boxes when you can. But there's your level 3. And now level 2, you would normally do cannonless in most categories, but as you can probably guess by Kraken mechanics, you don't have to do cannonless at all. You can just swim up it. Streamer, why don't you just swim up the wall? Okay. Breaks out the Squid Amiibo. It's honestly a nice change of pace in this level. It's not actually cycles. It's actually like it is level 2 skill. It's like the only category where that's true. Those Octoballs do a little trolling, but if you jump there, you'll obviously just get knocked off. So, you know, a little safety. It doesn't hurt. Do like a little sub strafe to like instantly pick up speed on my Kraken there. Just clean. And then usually you'd go up and take out that ball and jump over, but you know, Kraken moment. Can go right past these Octoballs before they spawn, and then you can climb up this wall, which you'd usually have to use a cannon, or do the cannonless for, but yeah, you don't need any of that in Squid Amiibo. And now, we are just gonna finish our run in level 1. Oh, this road's so goofy. Going through level 1, we're going to be using bombs to take out a bunch of these boxes, make the enemies easier to hit. And then you take out this whole horde. You can use a bomb here if you like, but it's not really ever worth it just because of how small the explosion radius is. In NG+, you would use bombs because the explosion radius is huge. But anyway. Swerving around that enemy and getting back to this lockbox. And then we'll use like a kind of a visual cue to line up this bomb throw to the boxes. It breaks the first two, then you can jump into the last one and grab the key. Which just lines it up perfectly for you. Then you go into this Zapfish, and that is time. That's Squid Amiibo. I also like pop off here, because this is actually me when I got all 6 out of 6 world records, and now 4! But yeah. Extremely fun category. Very fast paced, and very different from a lot of the other ones. Be very fun to do. But that's it from me. So I'll see you in the All Scrolls one that I'm about to record next. Later.